Welcome to TEC2. I'm Ryan Hoger, and today we're going to be talking about the Totaline Mobile Technician App. I assume you know how to install an app at this point, so we're going to skip that part. Just look for Totaline Mobile Tech. Alright, so when we open that app up, which we're going to do right now, there's several things we can do with this particular app. So as you can see, we can either put in a serial number, or we can put in a model number, or we can use the camera on the phone to actually scan a barcode. Right? So for today's purposes, we're going to go ahead and put in a serial number, which I happen to have one right here. So I'm going to punch that guy in and tell it to search. So if I put in the model number, I'll get slightly less stuff, but if I do the barcode or the serial, I'll get everything to that very specific unit. So as you can see here, what we found was a 355 CAV Bryant modulating furnace. Actually a step modulating furnace, which is a 3-stage furnace. There's three major things that I get to do with this here. The first one is look at the parts list. So I click on that guy, it'll give me the critical parts list, the most commonly replaced things that might be asked for. Now if I find the thing that I want, let's say it's the blower motor, I can click on that, and I can down here at the bottom add that to my job, and then that part and any other parts I click on today will be added into an email that will go to the store that I would like to buy them from. Up here on the top where it says critical, I can hit the drop down arrow, and then I can search for things beyond the critical parts. So I can go to electrical, I can see what those components are, I could go to accessories, motor, fan. So whatever I'm looking for, I can find it that way as well. If I hit the top left arrow and back out of there, below that is the technical literature. So when I click on that section, it'll bring up all the books related to that exact unit. So as you can see here, I got a section here for installation manuals, product data, which is like the specifications for that unit, some marketing information, the owner's manual, the service manuals, and then the installation manuals for any common accessories that would go with that particular unit. So in this case, I'm going to pick the service manual here, the troubleshooting guide for the service. So you can see it pulls up the guide in a PDF. I can zoom in on stuff as well if I need to or want to. This is a 48-page one, so it's a lot to read on your phone, obviously. But a minute ago, you didn't have any books for the unit that you were working on, and now at least you have this. I'm going to back out of that up top there. And the third section on here is warranty information, as it's called on here, entitlement info. So in that section, I can see what the warranty is on this unit. So you can see in this case, this unit was installed in September 2009. If I scroll further down here, I can click on warranty details. When that guy pulls up there, we're able to see all the warranty components of this. So in this case, it's a furnace, so I have the main warranty on all the parts. I have the primary heat exchanger warranty and the secondary heat exchanger warranty. And then, as with most stuff, I also have a different warranty depending on whether it's the original owner of the equipment or whether it's someone who bought the equipment from someone else, like a house being sold or something like that. So in this case, you can see the first couple of ones up here for the primary and secondary heat exchangers are the subsequent owners. There's labor and equipment warranties. If I scroll a little bit further down, you'll see I got the enhanced parts warranty. Here is the regular standard parts warranty, which for this one expired in 2014. So I can see all those kind of time frames on there. So right on the spot, right at the unit, I can tell someone if their unit is covered under warranty or not. Even if I'm not the one who originally installed it. Someone else might have installed it 8 years ago and I happen to be servicing it, I can find out if it's under warranty for them or not. Below the warranty details is service contracts. So if I look at that section here, it'll tell me this very specifics for that particular customer. So their contract number, who originally provided them this extended warranty, that kind of information. Right back out of there, I go to service history. So now even though I'm not the original installer, or even perhaps not even the one who serviced them last time, I can come back there a year or two later and see what warranty claim they had on that unit, even if I've never been to that property before. Right, so in this case, you can see they had a heat exchanger warranty in January of this year, right? So I can see that even if I'm not the one who did that work. The other thing I can do is I can find my nearest store on this app. So up on the top side there where I have those three little dots, I click on that, and I can go to store locator. So I happen to have a favorite store set up here, which is where my training lab is at in Melrose Park. But if I'm not there today and I'm somewhere else farther away, I can punch in the zip code for that store. In this case, it'll tell me my closest store is the Naperville store for that zip code. Next one's North Aurora, Joliet, and so on. And it works in other states too. So if I go to Wisconsin or I go to Indiana or whatever, I can punch in those zip codes and it'll bring up the stores in those particular states. The very last thing we can do with this app is we can cross-reference for other stuff. So if somebody wants to find a specific motor, thermostat, compressor, we can probably do it with whatever component number they have of those. So up at the top, we click on cross-reference, and these are the categories of things that we can choose, right? So if I picked semi-hermetic compressors, I could punch in the number of one of those compressors, even if it wasn't one of the Carrier Bryant, model numbers, and it'll bring up an alternate usage for me. So I got a few different categories of that when I look at those cross-references, right? Motors, right? Filter dryers, and so forth. Some of them I can actually search other ways. So if I don't have the motor model number, but I know something about the motor that I want to replace, I can come down here and select what kind of motor type I have. Is it belted? What is it, a capacitor start? What horsepower motor do I have? What voltage am I working with in this particular unit? Right? And then any other information I have like RPM and so forth. And the same thing with thermostats, for example. Right? So I can punch in another manufacturer's thermostat model number, whatever you happen to have in front of you that you're trying to replace, hit submit, and it'll bring up other stats that are similar to that you might want to replace it with. Or I can pick the thermostat based on what brand I want to find, whatever that is, right? Any applications that I happen to need. Maybe it's a residential one that I'm looking for from a specific brand, and maybe I need it to do 2-stage heat, 2-stage cool, right? And I want a programmable stat, and then I hit submit and see what comes up for that. All right, so then it gives me a couple model number choices on what I can use for those, and I can look up more details on them if I want. If I want to click on the info button and see some information about that, some basic specs on the unit, I can. So you may find that useful as well. So that's kind of a quick tutorial of the Totaline Mobile Tech app. We do have several other technician-related apps coming up, so keep an eye out for those. There's ones for Carrier, Bryant, ICP, Day and Night, Heil, all that kind of stuff. So watch for those. Thank you.